Now, when we talk or contemplate an eSign process, we're obviously talking about an e-insurance process, not a physical one, right? And IRDAI rules on this are crystal clear. All e-insurance policies must be digitally signed, right? There is no ambiguity here. But what exactly does this mean, right? So when under the Indian IT Act, when any law or regulation uses the word sign or the words digitally sign, there's a very specific meaning under the IT Act, under Section 5 of the IT Act, right? So what does Section 5 say? Section 5 of the IT Act basically says that when a document requires a signature, right, or the word sign or digitally sign are used, only electronic signatures as prescribed under the IT Act can be used. You can't just use any mode of electronic authentication and say that's electronic, so it must be eSign. So what this means is e-insurance policies must be signed. If you're doing it digitally, it's an e-insurance policy. They must be signed by any of the following listed on screen. Any type of Aadhaar e-sign, any type of PAN e-sign, a DSC token e-sign, the USB sticks that you will be familiar with, or a DocSigner, right? These are the only 4 types of electronic signatures under the IT Act that can be used whenever a regulation prescribes e-sign, right? This means that for this as well, IRDAI has clearly specified digitally sign, you have to use these 4 types. This also means you cannot use a visual crop of a physical signature or just a simple OTP-based authentication. Both of these are electronic modes of authentication, but they are not electronic signatures under the IT Act, right? Just because they're electronic does not mean they're actually valid for this purpose. And a lot of insurers make this mistake, right? So what many insurers do is they use the cropped signature and the OTP. What others do is they use a digital sign, right? But they operationally do it in a very cumbersome way, right? So they either have someone do the DSC manually, very laborious, tedious, and time-consuming process, or they have some agency do this for them. Again, very costly and time-consuming, as well as the added risk of misuse of DSC. So we did a quick analysis of the top 20 insurance companies. We could find intel on about 17 of these, and we wanted to understand the breakup of what's the practice in the market for policy signing. So what we found is that 5 of them were non-compliant on the face of it, right? When you get the policy, you get either a cropped signature image or an OTP-based sign, not an IT Act e-sign, right? 12 of them are compliant, but choose an inefficient way of doing it. They do DSC on their own, or they outsource it, right? Or some of them, 8 of them, are using a DocSigner, which is automated, but that DocSigner itself has some vulnerabilities without a proper secured audit trail, right? So net, there's a lot of variance in the market, and most of this variance doesn't result in a smooth process. Some of this variance does not even result in a compliant process. That's where our first solution of today comes in. Our brand new product, which we're revealing in public for the first time in this webinar, SignStation, right? SignStation is a super simple DocSigner utility that you can use to affix digital signatures on policies automatically, right? It's low cost and super secure, right? Balances both needs with a proper Evidence Act compliant audit trail. So with SignStation, you get an automated efficiency of automation. You save money on the process, and at the same time, you ensure better compliance than your current process, especially if you're not using a DocSigner in your current process. So let's move on to a quick demo of SignStation. So Shubhesh, over to you. And
Thanks
just
a
a
lot.
reminder, just put your questions in the Q&A if you have any during the session or during the demo as well.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Great. Welcome everyone. And in this demo, what we've done is we've made like a mock app of the policy administrative system that your agents would have. In this, the customer has already filled the application. They've done KYC, they've acknowledged the e-proposal. And now what we need to do is we need to issue them the policy once they've acknowledged the proposal. So for your agent, it's going to be super simple if they use SignStation. In their app, all they need to do is click a button, in this case generate policy, hit APIs to SignStation, and your agent will get the policy right in their policy administration application. Just for short, I'll use pass going forward in the demo and in subsequent demos. As you can see, this was my dummy insurance policy, and this got signed by the DocSigner. Now, what's happening in the background? SignStation is where you'll configure your DocSigner that you want to use for any policy signing. It's super easy. Just ignore this. It's asking me to change my password. And let's say you have any policy that you want to sign or that wants to get signed. What I'm showing you right now, it's a manual process, but if you integrate APIs, it's going to be automatic. Your agent will never have to come to this dashboard. This dashboard will only be for you to manage your DocSigners with which you're signing your policies. Let's say
just one more thing, and Shubhash, you can show it after this. That sign that Shubhash showed you after he clicked the button happened in real time. It was not, it was instantaneous because it's an automatic sign, but it happens on the fly in real time. Just if you are using a doc signer, you'll be familiar with this process.
correct. So how that is happening is what I'm showing you right now, manually via the dashboard. So you have both options, whether you want to use a dashboard, which may not be sustainable for a policy signing use case, but just showing you like on the back end what's happening. So let's say we'll start signing this document. So I've uploaded my policy. This is my policy. And as you can see, this is the same policy I was showing you just a minute back. This is the DocSigner signature that was there. I can drop my signature coordinates, or I can select what are the default coordinates for it. Either way it works. And then I have to select which certificate I need to sign it with. And then I can enter my name. I can enter the reason why I'm signing it, or even I can enter the location from where it is getting signed. So let's say you want to monitor where the document was signed, whether it was, let's say, Mumbai, Delhi, so you can do that also. So it's up to you. Basically, whatever information you want to pass, you can. If you don't want to pass, you don't have to. All of it's optional. Once that's done, you simply just click on sign document and your policy is signed. And for each policy, you also get an audit trail, which will also get stored in your PAS systems and will be available to you whenever you want. It will have basic information like what system was used to sign this policy. It will have its IP address, what kind of browser and all it was used, who was the admin person or user person who did it. Sorry, I clicked on the email, so that's why it opened. Yeah. And just coming back to this in the PAS, I just want to quickly show you again how it's happening for the agent. So they'll just click the button, APIs will get hit for SignStation, and a fully signed policy will be available to the agent. If you want to send this to your customer, you can. If you don't want to, or if you want to manually send it, that's a decision that's up to you. However you want to send
And
it.
of course, you can also integrate it directly. So if, let's say you want an agentless process where a customer uses your app to generate it, you can integrate it there as well, where the customer can click that button in your front end and the signed policy will be issued instantly. You can obviously build your checks in the back end to see if they're eligible and things like that. So that happens at your end. The point is when you're ready for a policy to be issued, you can pre-fill it and then you can get it signed via SignStation.